out a book about the meat.
Kashif's book is out
We
there.
used to sell a lot of those in the bookstore.
Yeah, it's hey, I think I got that book too.
It's a green and yellow book.
Green and yellow book, but you talking about an industry where it's a bunch of criminals in the business,
Right.
man. And
I mean, the founders of the businesses are criminals.
Yeah.
The people at the very top that come across now as these citizens of the year.
I like that crooked stuff.
Yeah, the citizens of the year are absolute crooks, and they've managed to wash their image up with all this money. So money talks, and over the long haul,
and not just music, entertainment. Period.
Entertainment period is gangster, and I think that's also why Dallas as a whole hasn't succeeded, because we aren't a entertainment based city. We are a city about oil, corporate, type of. It's a lot of money involved in Dallas that has nothing to do with entertainment.
Go
and
off
those are the
Mockingbird.
people that run everything, including the entertainment. So the entertainment side of stuff is extracurricular for them, but they maintain the control of it to make sure that everything else, which is their real money, you know what I'm saying, stays in place, and the real money keeps going. But entertainment, they can cut the legs off of entertainment stuff right now and not lose no sleep.
Right.
And us, on the other hand, we would literally drown in the moment and die. So
Wow.
what's extremely important to us is not really important to those who are truly running everything. And that's why I always say that in order to do things, you have to do them, figure out a way to do them as much as you can outside of the establishment. Because as long as, I'll just say it like this, when they don't care about your $5.
Right.
But the moment that you make $1 million, all of a sudden they're trying to figure out, not only what you're doing, but how you're doing it, and by what means can they regulate or control it. So you have to be prepared once you get to that level. Our problem is we get to that level and we're not prepared, to deal with those forces, and then the artist or the label that you thought was hot or going to be the next big thing ultimately disappears because they were not prepared for that moment. You know what I'm saying? When they did cross a certain threshold. And that's the thing, because we don't have a LaFace, a Rap a Lot. You know what I'm saying? No Limits, a Ruthless Records. We don't have that, which is why we're still kind of in this state that we're in, because there's no epicenter to our earthquake. We just have, we're throwing rocks in the creek and watching the water ripple. Nobody is actually causing a big quake, and it's because I really don't know why.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. I know it sounds crazy, my description, but I was saying in Texas, we still have this Juneteenth mentality. If you ever been to Dallas, and I'm not dissing my city, but I can say that 'cause I'm from here, this city kind of cursed. It's just facts. It's like a malevolent curse of the mentality. It's like a Juneteenth mentality. If you study the Juneteenth, people in Texas were still slaves, and whether we know it or not, in Dallas we just fall back. We don't support. I know that sounds so cliche. We don't support. We don't think we're supposed to have it. That's why I said Stockholm syndrome. We like they kind of smiling when it ain't funny, scratching when it don't itch. But when you got that, like them New York people, I done seen New York people come down here and take over. So I think we have been passed down curses through generation through generation. It's a generational curse on this whole city, whether we want to realize it or not. That's why Mo3, one of the biggest artists, look how they did him. One of his own, in our own city. That's what we think about each other. We would do somebody that's at level Mo3 and just lay him out on I-35. That came from one of our own. It's a slave mentality, Juneteenth.
We are a good, and I tell people this all the time on a personal level. I come from a great slave stock. I know for a fact. You understand what I'm saying? Like the stock of people that I come from, I know for a fact that
The Rosemans.
No, it wasn't the Rosemans. Them was
They
ones.
wasn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
But my other side, this is an excellent slave stock. These were I know they was in the house.
Wow.
I know they was. You know what I'm saying? I know they were. Look, but when you see us right now, I come from two. I come from the hood, and I come
Hamilton
from them real good Negroes. You know what I'm saying? And look, and I recognize it for what it is. And ultimately, Dallas as a whole, as a sharecropping type of state and city, Dallas was more of a sharecropper type of thing. You know, we're all country sharecroppers. We didn't really do cotton. You know what I'm saying? Cotton black people and sharecropping black people are two different people.
Wow.
There's a level of harder work dealing with cotton than it is shucking peas. And doing things
He
of
said
that
shucking
nature.
peas.
I'm just keeping
Took
it
it
real.
back.
'Cause
Wow.
People will show you hands of a slave that worked cotton versus a slave that worked with more or less in the
I'm
agriculture.
laughing.
What do you
because
think about what he
my
just
mother, them
said?
always shelling peas.
Billy, I'm curious.
Yeah,
What
I
do
mean, that's my people.
Billy, what do
Yeah,
you think
shelling
about what he
peas.
just said? The mentality of people in the
Nah,
metroplex.
I'm laughing because my mother, my wife always bring that up
Shucking
about
pea?
when she first met my mother. My mother was like, "Sit on down,
Yeah.
shelling peas."
That's what we did.
You know,
I'm talking about. Do you
on
think?
the porch.
Do you
And
think?
a bushel of peas.
Yeah, it's
But I'm
like
saying, do you think the mentality of people, like the way he just described it, like over this city? Do you? What do you think on that? I'm just curious.
I was gonna ask y'all what the Dallas sound was.
I don't know. You want to answer? What is that?
The artists that were in control could have had something going on in Dallas. They said it was nothing going on in Dallas. So
Wow.
the majors like
What artist was that?
Yeah. What artist?
South Dallas on.
Oh, okay. I know your homegirl.
South Dallas who?
On.
You talking about somebody, you know, from the South Dallas area.
Oh, okay.
So even with that,
I know you're talking about.
even with that being said, you know, what is a Dallas sound? I think right now a sound has been established at this particular point. It comes from the southern sector. It don't come from that. It don't come from, even though we officially created and invented neo soul, that really came out of Dallas. We spearheaded. That is us. But
South
because
Dallas.
we were absentee, we changed our voter registration card. People think it came out of Philly. People think it
Whoa.
came out of
Speak
New
on it.
York. People think it came out of that area, but it actually came out of here. We just had one of our own kind of relocate up there in order to establish themselves. The same thing with the legendary Doc. People think he was from
West Coast.
the West
West
Coast,
Coast,
but
yeah.
he was from here.
West Dallas.
One of the greatest lyricists to ever have done it. He did what needed to be done in order for him to, you know, to get to where he needed to be. So it's not like he was shunning Dallas.
You know who he's talking about? Because the reason why I asked you that is because Dr. Dre, some of them hits.
Yeah.
Well, he's talking about DOC.
I'm talking about DOC.
But Dr. Dre was making those beats.
Yes.
But those lyrics
Yo, man, that's the
came from
formula.
DOC.
Which is from
came
Dallas.
That's why you said you were a songwriter.
Right.
Dr. Dre wouldn't have some of those hits without DOC.
A guy who's from Dallas.
A guy who's from Dallas. And if
Yes.
you look at that Straight Outta Compton movie,
Right.
when he said, I got this dude, Doc DOC out of Dallas,
Right.
that's who he's talking about.
Yeah.
But that's why I told you earlier, if you're going to be a songwriter, find you some producers to get with.
Right.
Because they need lyricists to write lyrics to those beats.
And because we didn't have, again, our Rap-A-Lot, our Ruthless Records, our Death Row, these artists that were super creative had to go somewhere else and to plant their seed in somebody else's soil, you know what I'm saying, in order for their career to grow. So we had to go to the West Coast, we had to go to the East Coast, and then those careers blossomed from there. But once they came back, and even though they pumped their fist and said Dallas, Texas, you know what I'm saying, everybody still was like, oh yeah, you from, you know what I'm saying? You from the West Coast, or you from you know, up on the East Coast. And by then the damage is done. It's like when somebody says, oh, I want to strike that from the record. The damage is done. It's already been said. It's established at this point that people think that you're from there. And the fact that you are from Dallas is now just a footnote.
We from
It's
Dallas.
a secondary, you know, afterthought. And that is why, you know, again, just to touch base, Massive and I doing big things in Dallas. People was like, man, the Slump Masters, y'all doing this whole underground thing. It was so great, so good, dapped up. You boys is dope. Nothing really popping.
Right.
Went to New York, one trip, one time. We went to Malik Yoba's spot. Got on the mic, performed, got off the stage, and everybody in New York was like, who are you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who y'all signed with? And then Vibe Magazine was there. Ali Muhammad said, I'm putting y'all on the Vibe tour. Things started to happen with a trip to New York. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got embraced there. And that, unfortunately, was where the people who could make the decisions and make things truly happen, that's where they were. And that's how things jumped off. I wish that we tried our best to do it here. It just didn't.
A lot of people
it just
tried
wouldn't
it, too.
happen.
And some of those people you talking about, you know how many projects we sent off?
Yes.
I sent, Terry sent. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I sent it to you, but I guess it was different. Or going overseas. You probably remember the Wooten brothers.
Wow.
They finally got a record deal.
I think James told me about that.
But they were huge in Japan.
James told me about them. They did something and it just blew up years later. They didn't even realize it.
They had one record
Yep.
deal. I forget what label they were on. It was through Polygram, and they had. I listened to their CD all the time, and they were right here in Dallas. And I think they back here, but they used to travel to Japan all the time because that's where they sold.
That's where they sold
and
everything.
did most of their shows.
So you saying a lot of people not taking stuff serious. You say we send them stuff, they're not taking it serious.
Yeah, we would send stuff up all the time.
Yeah.
Well, you know
To
what?
different labels and
I'll agree with that because we sent stuff up there, but sometimes people got to be actually there
Right.
to see it. Once they physically see it, they put their eyes on it, and at that particular point, they're like, "Oh my God." They talking to didn't we get the CD on them? Did we not get the CD on these? I've heard of them before, and that's when things began to snowball. But I don't know how that's going to ever change for this market. I just don't know.
Hey Billy, that's why I'm not saying. I want to tell you like this. That's the reason why I'm looking in your eye. That's the reason why we have you on here. Everything you ever did for me, Aziz, James, Swiss, whatever, I appreciate the shit out of it. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you why. Everything you ever gave us, you like, man, Pikahsso. I don't think you realize how much that shit meant to us.
no, I didn't. I'm being honest because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
They don't take you serious.
Boy, this boy in this bag.
You send me vinyl that day. I still got this stuff.
Man, look
I'm
at
gonna tell you like this, man. I don't play. Man, everything you gave us, man. And we weren't even DJ. You giving us this stuff. Look at this. Tribe Called Quest. BMJ
Wow.
still had this stuff. I got this stuff because of y'all, man.
That's
I
what
kept this stuff like I kept this stuff. Like I wanted to bring. When you came, I went in my archive for this stuff. This RCA. Look at this E40 vinyl. I don't even have a record player back in the day, but I kept this stuff for years. So you know, Pikahsso, if not one little guy in Dallas care about this stuff, and Biggie No Way Out. I got this because of you. All this stuff. Look at the promo sticker down on the back.
What?
You don't even see that no more. I'm like, look at that stuff,
Yeah.
man. Look, Keith Murray, his second album, Nick, but that came in the mail.
Yeah.
Life After Death. I got the whole stuff on vinyl.
That's big right there.
I kept so.
That's big.
Look at this Wu-Tang. Protect your neck.
Yeah.
That's big. That's huge.
Alcoholics and all that kind of stuff. Like
That's
that.
really big right there.
Outkast,
That's
Jazzy.
big.
I got more at the house.
Man,
I'm letting you know, Billy. Everybody might not care, but a guy like me, I
big.
care. That's why guys like me, I'm weird. A lot of people. When I said it last, when I see cut it up, they got, man, don't say you weird. I am weird. I'm a little strange. I'm obsessed with this stuff. I'm reading the credit.
Yep, that's how I used to do too.
Like this.
I read the
I like
credits.
the smell of vinyl.
To this day.
Hit that hoe.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm strange like that, but you need guys like me. You need guys like me, man, for hip hop. Guys like me that's just an official, not on this stuff. So when you said people didn't appreciate you, I did. That's why we got you on Billy. I appreciate you, man. You sent me this stuff years ago. I didn't have a record player. I'm gonna keep this. You didn't even know this. This is some 30-year Wu-Tang. You gave this to me. All y'all, one of y'all, somebody because of me.
So did y'all come to the DJ seminar and get it?
I don't know, man. I just get in the mail.
No, we would just
Stuff just started coming in my mailbox.
Either we would go up there or it would come. It would
Man,
come mailed to
after
us.
we stopped,
Yeah,
after
on the
everything
mailing list.
stopped, I still was getting stuff in the mail.
Yeah.
Man, I met Duck Down because of y'all, Drew Hard, Shucky Ducky, and they sent me a Duck Down button down because you the butterfly effect. That's why I mentioned your name in it. It wasn't for joke. Sometimes we play with people, man. Like, that's why when I wish Beige a happy birthday, this Beige. Without him, it's not us. That's what we got. It got to be us to stop this and whispering people name. We got to whisper people greatness. They'll shout your failures. I'm shouting your greatness. That's why today's your day. Keith Murray. I met Keith Murray. I was like, man, he don't even know I got some of his vinyl from back in the day. Look at, you can tell it come. He got the little record label sticker on the back.
Yeah, you can't resell it. You can't
Tribe
resell
Called
it.
Quest. What was it like working with Tribe? You ever work with them, Tribe?
Greg worked more with them because
did?
he worked for the label.
Yeah, for Jive.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I know it all.
But
came
I'll
from
tell you
y'all
something.
office. What?
Q-Tip was, I mean, he was very protective of that music.
He was?
Even from Jive. You know, they had to wait for him before they heard it. I mean, we went to a conference. It was either at a conference, it was at an Impact, and Jive brought them in, and they played one of the. It was either Low End Theory or one of their records, and nobody had it but Q-Tip.
I like that.
Wow.
And when we heard it, we was telling him, man, you need to release this. For real? You know,
the second album.
it was, I can't remember exactly which one it was, but we was in a room with all the BMG people, all the Jive people, and we listened to the upcoming project. I forget which album it was, but Q-Tip he was always protective. And Terry was there too. He knew.
Yeah.
He was protective of that music. The reason why I asked if you got it from the DJ seminar.
Man, this stuff's so old, man. I don't have no idea.
Greg used to do these DJ seminars, and that's how all the DJs in town would get serviced.
I'm gonna put it like this. You look at, if you know, I don't know if y'all out there know about the butterfly effect theory. Everything happened because of a reason. So whether it came from you directly, it came because of you. It came because of the Terry Renfro. Yeah. So after that, I'm telling you, man, me and Jane, what's it, man? I don't know how these people can get our address at our apartment. After Starvyn, I'm still getting stuff 4-5 years after that. It finally stopped, like maybe after.
That's because them labels went away. You probably still been getting it.
Starvyn artists, we was needed. I wish we wouldn't. Let's talk. I wish we wouldn't have stopped. Imagine if we were how big we be then, if we'd have kept doing it.
Straight up 100%. As far as black music goes, some of the stuff we used to do, we should still be doing it. Yeah. Again, that's Billy's opinion. Terry may be different, but some of the ways we marketed these materials, that's grassroots stuff.
Absolutely.
And we should still be doing some of these cats. If they just did some of the stuff we used to do, come ask one of us, how y'all do that?
Love.
How did you talk to the DJs? They thinking if I put it up on my social media, that's the only place I have. Nah, you need to get them cats together and make sure they all got a copy of your music.
What Aziz say? Posters and flats.
Shoot, Marquetta. Shout out to Marquetta in Houston, Serious Sounds. You know, she closed the store, but she just opened up her store again.
She's still around?
She's still around in Houston. They just opened up. She just opened up in the same space as a lady that's got a cookie company. She just posted it. And now you can go in there and get those cookies and all the stuff you pulled out. Marquetta had a whole lot.
I bet they got way more than me. Mr. Blues?
Oh, no, she got way more. I don't know what happened.
A lot of my stuff got lost in the flood. I lost about 100 pieces. My apartment flooded.
But she's been doing
depressing.
She's been doing Serious Sound pop-up shops.
And
now she's in that cookie place with that lady. And it looks dope.
She has like a isometrical hairstyle, like a Halle Berry hairstyle, like a short haircut.
No, she had a short haircut,
back in the
but
day,
it wasn't Halle Berry.
I'm just talking about that style, like that short.
Yeah, it was short hair. Still got it.
Nice looking woman.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah. When Red Rum had a deal,
beautiful personality.
Yeah, when we had a distribution deal with Red Rum. They had me and Google go to her store.
Yeah.
And we sat out there in the parking lot for a long time.
Yeah, you couldn't go to Houston.
Yeah, we had to stop
not go to Serious Sounds. Yeah, you know, but she's still doing pop-up shops and now she's in that other place, and I was like, wow.
What happened to Big State Distribution?
I don't know where.
Remember that?
Yep, Big State, Southwest Wholesale.
Southwest. Boy, them places, that was like going to Christmas time.
Yeah, they. I mean, a lot of that stuff went away. I don't know, man.
Bahari, Midwest.
Man, it was crazy.
Man, it was so much powerful stuff in Dallas.
It was so much stuff going on. There was so many outlets that we had to get our records out. I mean, that's how NWA got their records out.
It is?
Yeah.
I don't know what the place was called in California, but that's how he met Jerry Heller.
Macola?
Yeah,
It might have been Macola. Yeah, it might have been Macola, but that was the only avenue we had to get our records out. Southwest Wholesale, Big State, Macola, Ichiban.
Tommy Quan.
Tommy Quan.
Wow. Boy, y'all bringing some. This is Tommy Quan.
So
I
Rick-
want to meet him back in the day. I never met him.
Tell me about your removal, or you stepping away or being removed from that established distribution of the Southwest distribution office. How did that happen for you?
Good
So
question.
my removal, that's
That's the sad part.
That's being a book.
You don't want to get it.
So, got laid off.
Wow.
From BMG.
Hot.
Tried to become the marketing manager. Shout out to my boy Joe Barrett, who passed away. He became the marketing manager in the other big D, which was Detroit.
I got a song called.
Man, the removal.
You don't even know how to answer that one, do you?
Yes, I do. I'm just trying to be politically correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say what I really want to say.
Hey.
But
I have to do that again, though. You know.
When I did that before, people was like, "Nah, just be cool. You bitter. I ain't bitter.
It's what it is.
To me, they fucked over me. But
I resent that
That's-
word bitter.
But hey, I'm cool. I understand it better now. I mean, Terry Renfro, he don't know it, but he kind of made me feel better years later after that.
Okay.
What did Terry do?
Because he was still there after the BMG run, and the big man at the time was the white man. He asked Terry how I was doing, and he said, "Oh, he's cool." And he told him, I don't know if he had too much to drink that day at that party they was at, or what, but he told Terry, they made me fire him.
Wow.
They made me let him go.
For what?
Wow.
And that was the best news that I could have ever gotten. That's why I say he might not know that.
Right.
He's sitting in the corner over there. He might not know that, but that kind of helped. Because you know how you cool, but you like fuck everybody.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
these mother,
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Okay, I
did me
got
dirty.
something for you. I got something.
You said
for
they said you were bitter.
No, I said some people would tell me, cool
Okay.
down. Just chill out. You bitter. No, I ain't bitter. I knew something wasn't right.
Right.
And the way they did that, it wasn't done right.
Okay.
And because I really didn't do nothing.
Right.
So, but like I said, he didn't know until the day that helped.
Yeah.
Helped, smooth things down for me and allowed me to be able to go on. But I do understand now. But back to your question, my transition, I left there and I started doing independent stuff.
Okay.
I did. I started working for. I had an opportunity to go before I left BMG though. Had an opportunity to go to Virgin when Mike Mack. Shout out to Mike Mack from Rapper Live.
I remember him.
And
That's an interesting individual.
Brooks. I can't think of Brooks' first name, but they had. That's when I got 5 on it and all that.
New Tribe.
New Tribe.
Yeah.
and
Eric or
Virgin.
something like that?
Eric Brooks.
Eric Brooks.
Yeah,
I
there
met
you
him.
go. And
Wow. Can't believe
I had an interview with them to come over and be national director for them. I was gonna have to move to LA and all that, but it didn't pan out. I don't know what happened. And then after that, Terry Rossi was in New York. She's the SoundScan lady.
Okay.
That used to be with Billboard, and then she became vice president at BMG, and she took care of us.
Okay.
She looked out for us. She got in there and looked at the salaries, and the pop and the alternative marketing reps was making more than us. But that was at the time of LaFace, RCA SWV.
Right. It was pop.
It was R. Kelly and Jive.
Right.
All that stuff was, BMG was kind of mellow, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Right.
LaFace, Bad Boy, who RCA had, who Jive had, it was popping. And so she saw those salaries being in that role. She could see the pay, and she was like, "Shoot, me and Joe Barry got like a $10,000 raise because she went to him and was like, okay, you paying them this, but you paying the popping alternative this, and they ain't even got that many records.
They don't got that many records.
And when she left, that's when that happened with me because she made sure we was all taken care of.
Right.
And I still talk to her to this day. She chilling.
Yeah.
But she used to get them hell with SoundScan. The record labels.
Yeah.
She used to get them hell, boy. And so after that, like I said, I started doing independent. I went to work for Ken Wilson, who has worked for all these different labels on the radio side. But him and his family had, y'all know Colleen. Colleen Wilson.
She light-skinned one?
Light-skinned.
Yeah.
That's her big brother.
Okay.
I remember she was very nice.
Yeah. She still
What
do
label
her
did
things.
she work for?
She worked for a couple of different ones, but their family had a whole company.
I remember her.
They in
Very
LA,
nice woman.
they did independent promotions and everything. They had some movie stuff. They managed Yo-Yo.
How's she doing, by the way?
She doing good. She up on social
Shout out to
media.
Colleen.
Shout out to Colleen.
Okay.
And her brother Ken put me to work to do some retail marketing for Hercules and Big Time.
Okay.
You remember Hercules?
The fat dude?
Hercules,
Yeah.
the big boys.
That's not.
He was gonna put a record out.
I'm using the wrong word. That's like
and
they're brolic.
I actually had to take them to Atlanta because Jermaine Dupri had did a track. So Ken had, one of Jermaine's producers did a track.
Okay.
But I had to take them there, get them a picture with Jermaine and all of that, and they recorded the record and all that stuff. And I did that for a minute till that kind of faded out. I had to get another job.
Right.
And that's when Chris Ayers transitioned, and I knew Mike Mack, and I called him like, "Look, I'm looking," and he gave me a shot over there, and I spent 8 years at EMI.
Okay.
And then after that, that's when I was totally gone away from it. Unless I moved away to LA or New York. But by then I had a family,
Exactly.
It's like I can't just pick up and move.
Do you miss it?
Of course I miss it. That's the purpose. When I first came in here, me and Beige was talking about that setup he got up there. I got everything he got up there except for the switcher and the speakers. I got that sitting in my
laugh about
office
the
at
Beige
home
word.
because I was fixing to bring my
Yeah.
and the industry roundtable is coming back.
Okay.
It is coming
will
back.
be on there.
Y'all definitely will be on there.
Yes, we will.
And I don't have a studio like this, but I'm gonna do it on StreamYard.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do it that way because I still have relationships across the United States.
Gotcha.
So if I gotta get somebody in another state, boom, shoot them a link. Let's do this show.
I did a lot of interviews like that. They work pretty good.
So it's just a matter of taking the time.
You got to just take the time and do it.
And do it.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. Beige always talk about what makes shows what makes shows is not. A lot of it has to do with the content of the show. That's one of the main things. But a lot of it just has to do with consistency of doing it. A lot of podcasts will start. They might do an episode or two. And then they fall off and they stop.
It's a lot of
it's
work.
the consistency and the stick-to-itiveness to actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? And once you start doing it and you commit to it, then that's when, you'll truly be able to see and grow your audience because, if you can't feed the monster eats elsewhere.
Right.
Exactly. And that's just...
I like that.
So-
say that statement
if
again.
you-
I like that. You can't feed the monster.
If you
Eat.
can't feed the monster going.
Man, I ain't never heard that before in my life.
I just made that up.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was Aesop or some
Hey,
shit.
no, man. I'm a freestyle dude.
Okay.
This whole conversation been freestyle. But
Yeah,
I see
me
you.
too.
Okay, that was dope.
But the purpose of that show came, and then we had to go on hiatus. Then it came back, And you know, when you're trying to make end meet to make sure the mortgage paid,
Right.
you know, back then I didn't know how to monetize it. This time I'm
sir.
going. That's why it ain't came right back.
I got
Because
you.
I'm figuring out how I'm gonna monetize it and make sure that money is coming in.
Yeah.
But that purpose of that show, the reason why the name, the industry roundtable, is not just for the music industry because of everything we've been talking about here today. The damn music industry almost had me homeless.
Absolutely. Wow. So it's bigger than that.
It's bigger than that at this point.
So you said the
that's my
music
point.
industry almost had you homeless?
music industry almost had me homeless.
Speaking of, you know, when you had to discuss, why do you say that?
I say that because, you know, layoffs,
Yeah.
you know, changing of the guard, you know, jobs going away.
Damn.
I mean, because all of us had jobs. There's enough jobs to go around in the
Right.
beginning, but then companies started merging.
Consolidation.
Consolidation is
Yes, sir.
like, man.
And it's a
So
control
I
thing,
I
is
had
what
to
it
start
sounds
over.
Yeah, well, you're not in control
Right.
of music.
Right.
You know, and ultimately what we found out is, and the joke's on you, Jack, and what I mean by that is in reference to the industry, y'all aren't in control of it either.
Right.
And y'all lost control, and you have temporarily found it again, you manipulated it again, but the entertainment itself is fluid. So, because the industry likes to put railroad tracks down and says, okay, it's changed how we're doing stuff, we're laying new tracks now for that train to go back and forth. But the way that information and everything is set up now is fluid. It does not go on these two tracks in this direction and this direction. So that is why the industry itself will never truly just control it the way that they did for so many years. Now they manipulated us into Spotify, which they still run. They still getting all the money, and they acting like they don't, while giving us now a few cents on every viewer spin. Spotify.
Man, speaking of that, man, I was on that aggregator sites. I got a $50 check for after 3 years. Y'all need y'all ass whooped. $50 the other day came in my PayPal. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's good. That's some good. That's some
I got
gas.
$50 after
Gas.
about 3 years from being on a distribution. What's it, a penny a month?
Yeah.
A penny on the penny? a dollar a month? Oh, y'all, I mean, come on, my nigga.
But think
I got
about.
$50 check the other day after 3 years.
But think about those who are making money in the industry. Are they making money off of music?
Probably not.
They seem
Like
to
Drake?
be hawking and selling everything that they can possibly,
Like 50 Cent?
get their hands on.
Multiple streams. 'Cause
Multiple-
If they had to do just music,
Like 50?
Yes.
No.
50, what he got? Dog food?
They all got some type of alcoholic beverage.
G-Unit white
You know
beaters.
what I'm saying? You name it.
playing.
They are doing everything. The music is what keeps them relevant.
Yeah.
So they can sell other
Yeah,
stuff.
you're right.
Yeah, it's exactly. The music is the commercial.
That's what we got to start doing. Like,
Yes.
get a Starvyn mug.
Yeah, we
Bing,
need to
bing,
start
bing.
rapping, making songs about like a mug. You know what I'm saying? Starving like a mug. And that's gonna be our next new single coming
Get the
out.
mug.
Starving like a mug.
Have some mugs. Billy like that little.
yeah, I did.
Man,
Yeah,
y'all
Billy like
chilling
that.
a
No,
mug.
man, it's and you mentioned this,
I like that cup. I ain't
No,
gonna lie. You
this-
want to drink some coffee?
but the swag that's on the table is just a little bit of what y'all can do.
Absolutely.
See back here. It's just
That's his
this
mind.
is minor of what can be done, but a lot of times we don't have access.
Look at that right there.
You
Look,
see-
look at what you see right there.
That backpack.
Yeah.
Picasso backpack.
Yeah, that's
That's a one
what,
prototype.
That's what you got to do, but you got to be. A lot of times we can't get this in bulk
Yeah.
because we don't have the money.
Yep.
Or we think we don't have the money. But if you don't get your swag and your marketing materials to market, nothing's changed in marketing.
Right.
Marketing 101 is still, you think that you can get on social media and that's it. No, you still got to do the grassroots.
Absolutely.
I mean, we got to figure out a way. That's one of the reasons I wanted to come on here too, because we got to figure out a way. And I'm going to come back because what I'm working on, when I get it done, I'm going to come back because I want to be able to tell the story of the road that I had to go down to get to where I am.
Gotcha.
And I'm talking about funding,
Yeah.
credit, all that stuff
That's
that
what
you
it is.
that you think you know, we've been raised to think that you got to have a good credit score.
Right.
But they ain't telling us you get an 800 credit score and they still turn you down.
Absolutely.
Because now they looking at your credit profile.
Yep.
So how's your credit profile? So,
Damn complicated.
Man,
You can't check your credit because it's called an aggressive checking. What? I said I can't check my credit. That goes against your credit. That shit is weird, man.
Hey,
who made that up?
I understand why some cats hustle.
Yeah.
I get it now. Might not be for me that route, but I understand.
I couldn't do that.
And that's why I say I want to come back when I get that finished and talk about that, because when I tell you they scrutinizing me and my wife like we criminals, man. And I ain't never been in trouble. And it's like, man. And
you look like what you like what I like to call an erudite. You talking about the metometer and all that kind of stuff? I never seen you have no
I don't. You know,
a level and vibe.
I'm trying to make it happen. I'm trying to pay it forward, but I got to get started so I can do that.
Well, see, you know, one thing that I've noticed is a lot of us are now playing the credit game, which is why they are scrutinizing you, because before we as a people, we have played the cash game. We have played this game that basically made it to where we had a ceiling. You know, we can only go so far. Unbeknownst to us, there was this game called credit that we only got the Cliff Note version of the book on how to do it. Pay your bills on time. We were still doing it wrong. What were we doing? We were paying our credit cards off in full all the time. We never left a balance. All of these things.
Supposed to leave a little balance
Yes.
and keep it at 30%.
Exactly. So they can make their little bit, you know what I'm saying, off of you, which in turn makes you credit worthy, and they'll raise the amount based off the fact that not only can you handle what they gave you, but you've also shown that you're willing to give them some back. So it's almost like a kickback. If you're not willing to give a kickback to credit, then you're not going. You can pay your bills on time and gonna be a 640 for the rest of your life, and that's just how the game goes. But because we started to manipulate and say, okay, we know the 30%. We know how to borrow from here, take it, borrow from here, take what I borrowed from here, pay over here, pay that, and now you got this money circulating. And yeah, you're gonna pay them some money, but then that amount goes up. And what is happening is, as the amount goes up, it'll get to a certain point, and those hustlers, you know what I'm saying, that was once on the street, they now in the credit game. And now they're saying, oh, they done gave me $500,000. Guess what? I'm gonna let the bottom fall out of it, take the whole $500,000, and we finna ball out. And then I'm gonna just let it go. You understand what I'm saying? And that's a whole nother conversation. But
I'm over learning like a mug.
It's
Wow.
Man, it's just it is amazing knowing what. And you can't really blame parents because they didn't know either to teach us. Some things I think they knew, but the bulk of it, the meat and potatoes of it, they didn't know either.
They just said don't mess up your credit.
Don't mess up.
Hey, don't mess. You got this credit
that card
You
off.
better pay that card. Don't mess your credit up.
And that's what I was asking you earlier. Remember I was telling me and Aziz was talking about that. You think what we learned in the 80s is relevant now?
I think it is, because I was gonna say a lot of stuff. Like I said, the whole thing about BMG and my transition from this. I went from the music industry to the for-profit school game. It's shadier than. Let me look in the camera. It's shadier than the music industry.
Wow.
For-profit school. I don't care who hear me. It's shadier. Now I'm in the workforce. The workforce used to be the unemployment office.
Right.
Now it's the employment office.
Right.
People don't go in the workforce to get their unemployment. They go in there to fill out the paperwork or get on the phone, because you got to call Austin to do that. You can go in there and use a computer, print out something, fax something for free.
Right.
But
They want to get your ass a job, basically.
But we the employment office, because at the end of the day, we trying to get you employed.
So we have to pay.
Now you gotta do your job search, and that's why I said I get it now. Everything, cause like I said, I thought they fucked over me.
Yeah.
They did, but that was my path.
Right.
I understand it now because everything I went through, I learned something, and it's gonna make me better for what I'm trying to do now. So yes, it's relevant for me.
There you go.
It's relevant because I'm gonna take everything I've been through to maintain what I'm doing. I'm 58 years old.
58?
So I'm finna.
Good for your age, man.
I'm finna ride it out.
Damn. Is that what Kevin Hart said?
Damn!
Oh, I'm sorry.
He did that. What's that?
He did
What's
that.
that
Don
name?
Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
I like, by the way, Don
said,
Cheadle's a dope
56.
actor,
He
by the
said,
way. He was, damn. Kevin Hart probably 50 himself. What's his real age? Shit.
Yeah,
Not his
they be
industry
lying.
age.
But yeah, I'm fixing to ride this out, do what I want to do. Like I said, and I know y'all can hear it. Just what I said about y'all, what I said about him.
Jerry
Y'all took that risk. I was dealing with fear in the beginning because
yeah.
I got a wife and a son.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now I got 2 daughters in the mix too.
Yes,
so
sir.
I was like, nah, I can't make that move. Then you end up getting laid off and you gotta make a move anyway.
Do it anyway.
Hey, Billy, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had the same fear doing this right now. If it wasn't for Aziz and him, right before we started, I was down like $100 in my bank account. I gotta get a job. I was shaving my beard. He said something to me, Babe said something to me that really stuck me. He said, man, shaving your mustache, had that worked for you yet? I'm like, damn. Remember he said that day? Remember he said that to me? I'm like, shit, I'm doing all this shit, and it still ain't worked for me. When you said that to me, I'm like, damn.
Right.
So regardless of what, Aziz being around a guy like him, it's hard to have fear.
Yeah.
He gonna call, hey, Pikahsso, what you doing? Like, damn. Because he could see that fear in me. I was kind of like, I want something more solid, which ain't nothing wrong with that either, but
Right.
they kind of got me back. I was kind of scared. I ain't used to being scared, but that COVID put some fear in my heart.
It's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about if you haven't worked a 9 to 5, think about all the people you know that has done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about my mother worked for the state of Arkansas for 36 years. Ain't no damn company in the United States gonna allow you to do that.
Not at all.
They'll push you
Not
out.
anymore. They gonna
ever.
say it again.
They'll push you out. Like I was at this job.
because they don't want to pay that.
They'll start cutting your hours off, being mean
Yeah,
and stuff,
that's
writing you
not
up for dumb stuff.
Yeah, my stepdad, who is essentially my dad because he raised me, he worked
Shout out to
for
stepdads.
Southwestern Bell. Southwestern Bell turns into AT&T.
Yeah.
He started that job at the age of 19. They tried to get him to leave so many times, and he would just sit back and literally take a position that was less, you know what I'm saying, than who he was, but they couldn't change his pay. Once your pay starts, it didn't matter. Then they said go and work. Now you got night shift. They thought that was gonna shake him. It didn't shake him. 20 years in the game, he night shifting, and then it just kept going and going until eventually they just had to cut the check. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like we cut, and we not cutting a couple of $100,000. You got to put an M behind that in order for me to leave because I have no reason to leave. You have no reason to fire me. I've done everything, and just imagine in 1973 when you started making something and you're getting a quarterly raise every year. You know what I'm saying? Every quarter for like almost going on 40 years.
Wow.
You talking about some money for doing nothing. He was like, literally, they had me almost doing entry-level jobs just to think that they was going to make me quit or something. He said, I didn't care. I didn't care as long as that
I'm
check
get that time, man.
was deposited on time.
See, a lot of people let
And
their
that
ego
time
mess
was
them
being
up.
calculated.
Yes.
So now they got to pay him.
They got to pay it.
You know, but we not gonna be able to retire like that.
No, that's not
It's
happening.
not gonna happen.
But I told my parents that when I was young. I personally said, I don't know how y'all can do it. I don't know how you go into the same job every single day. Like I was built different, and they wanted that for me because they teach you what they know that works. I say the same thing to my kids. I said, man, look, you know, everybody like, man, all your kids athletes? I said, well, I was an athlete, so I'm showing them what I know,
Right.
and this is what I know. That I have a kid playing football at Georgetown University. It works, goddamn it.
Watch those
You know what
games,
I'm saying? And I'm winning, and he's going to win outside
See what I'm
of
talking about?
football.
Right.
You understand
Keep
what
you
I'm saying?
motivated.
Like he managed to get into one of the top schools in America. I said, that is why I taught you how to throw a football and run with it.
Right.
It wasn't, the touchdowns was cool. We clapped for you. But now this is next level
Yeah.
that nobody can take from you. And this is how they were trying to teach me. And all we're really doing is creating these steps of generational steps. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We
definitely.
just, it's not that I feel like I'm better than my parents. They've earned more out of life financially than I have.
Right.
They have earned the dollar, but when it comes to pushing the next level, they may not realize it with me because I was a rapping, you know what I'm saying, kid, and they was like, they thought I could do better with my life. True enough, no, I couldn't. This is what was meant for me, and this is what made it possible for my children, you know what I'm saying, to be what they thought I should have been. And it wasn't for me. I'm just Moses. It wasn't meant for me to get to the promised land. It was just meant for me to take my kids to the promised land. So now that they are there, they'll get the milk and honey, and maybe we can kind of grow from that particular point. But somebody had to do something different, and somebody had to be tough enough and brave enough to walk through this wilderness for an extended period of time, because somebody got to have the balls to goddamn do it.
But like Billy
Right.
said though, the age, man, I ain't gonna lie, I love it. I love how motivation all of us are. But that age, man, in this world we live in, is not kind to old people.
It's not.
They're not kind. So we have to be realistic too, my nigga.
Yeah.
We getting older. Look at these grades. I ain't ashamed of them.
Yeah.
I have to allow myself to, even the process of, I didn't even like getting old. I have to allow myself the process of becoming old. I wouldn't allow myself to the experience of that shit. But this world, man, don't like old people. So we can say all that stuff, but there has to be a time where we have to buckle down and make it. Because 58, 60, after a while, that opportunity gonna close, whether we want to admit it or not.
That's why you gotta create your own.
You got to create it.
That's
gotta
why I
make
was finna say you gonna pay yourself more on your
Absolutely.
own.
That's what they said.
Yeah, you
You don't
gonna
even
pay all the stuff you dealing with on a 9 to 5,
God.
walking in there every day. You don't know if that's the day they
Yep.
decide.
Oh my God!
You know.
That feeling.
Yeah.
Don't it feel like working at these jobs feel like death row?
Hey, let
like
me
you
talk
know it's
to
gonna
you.
happen one day.
Today
Next.
is the day. We love you, but we gotta
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah, we gotta cut.
Wait, what is
the
that
budget.
feeling?
That's
What
what
is the
happened to me.
definition for that feeling?
I
Like,
mean, it happens so many times.
when you going to work, you
being
know
laid
it's gonna
off.
happen, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, you just
With
don't
these
know when.
companies.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah,
You know it's gonna
It
happen.
just bounce off me now.
Yeah, yeah, it is
Like,
what
all
it
right,
is.
cool, I'm out.
Yeah,
You know,
it's been great.
Yeah, I don't
It's
get.
been great. You know, if y'all need me,
you're not
call.
emotionally
and
attached.
throw them off because you're not acting a fool.
Yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like, hey man, it's been great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you guys ever need me, I said to them, hey man, I wish y'all the best of luck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, if you guys ever need anyone, look me up, holler at me if I'm available. I'm your guy. But until then, now. After we have this conversation, I'm no longer getting paid, so I gotta go. I got shit I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta get to the next dollar that's not coming from you. And personally, the time that I spent with you only was a gestation period for me to make my next move. All I was doing is sitting there figuring out, I'm taking your money, sitting back, figuring out how I'm gonna make my next move my best move.
What did I tell you when I met you? Go be a nurse, but use that to fund what you're trying to
Absolutely.
do. We get caught up in, I'm working, I'm making money.
Yeah.
And now, like he said, I wish you the best,
Yeah.
but I gotta go. Because
Yeah.
I ain't making no money now.
Yes.
When we should have been using that money to set something up.
Right.
Be
Set
told when
something
Starvyn
in
first started, I was using Zell's fax machine.
Yeah.
Zell, they had
At
free
his
faxing.
job.
Faxing was a lot back
Yeah.
then. Remember, we had the fax back then. That
Yeah.
shit come on. I said, hey man, I'm gonna start using my job fax. It's free. So I used to go up there every day. You know the fax machine. Paper roll out.
You did
Thank
it
you.
at the end of the day
Yeah.
when they wasn't looking.
When they go on lunch. I'm saying that's been a long time. What they going? What you say? The statute of limitations? What they gonna do? Refire me? After they fired me, I went to the Million Man March. Why I got fired, but in which I didn't go.
Yeah.
I got that's a whole nother story. But he right.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, I had fear, and I love my fear. Let me with the camera. I love my fear. I love my fear. My fear is what made me brave. I don't run from my fear, because if I didn't have fear, I'd go down the wrong side of the road. So everything that I'm afraid of, I took that head on. What Jay-Z said, instead of running from, I ran to it. So everything I was afraid of, everybody that made mockery of me, called me, I took it on my chin, and it made me have a force field. So now if a job let me go, I'm like, now the old me would talk noise. I ain't gonna lie. The Starvyn there, if I got fired, MF, you MF, I whoop you. That's what I would have done. Now I'd be like, okay. It's been great. Why act a fool? I see people on job. I'm gonna shoot up, man. Why go ruin your life behind a job?
Yeah, because it's not gonna break you.
Why would you go kill somebody? It's not that. Go.
It's not.
Just go to Indeed, put on another job, or go. What you call it?
Start your own thing while you on that job,
Thank
so
you.
that you could transition.
Tell them again.
Man, I wish start your own thing while you're on that job. Because again, like I said, I don't know if tomorrow when I walk in there, that's the last day.
Exactly.
So
You get tired of feeling like that.
Thank you.
I don't.
Have you ever felt that feeling? Anybody? When you working a job?
Terry ain't felt it in a long time.
He's like, I don't know what y'all talking about.
But
you know what I'm talking about.
How long you been working for yourself now?
Okay.
15
Man, you forgot what that feel like to walk in like, and everybody, that, like I said earlier, the human body, if you look at Doppler radar, that's how they do weather. The human body is similar to Doppler. We send out chakras and leave pheromones and stuff like that. The people that's in charge of it, they don't know it's workers. Some of these workers are playing a lot dumber than you realize. I can feel that negative energy when I walk in, because your body is emitting electro waves through our body. Chakras is what they call them, the woke people. I call it like little electrons. Like, God damn, this nigga finna mess up. And I'm always right. Maybe not. I might not be right then, but I can feel it. And then I got my grandmama and me, my mom and me. I can feel it in my spirit. Who wants to feel like that every day? Period. Man, that shit almost. I'd rather just go and get the whooping. And then saying, I'm gonna give you a whooping, but I ain't gonna tell you when. Yeah. That's like some psychological type shit. Man, I hate that. It's like that's like a woman gonna break up with you.
Like Bernie Mac said, I ain't going to get no switch. His brother told him, "No, bro, he was like, F that. And she gonna whoop me anyway.
Exactly.
I ain't going to get nothing.
Bernie Mac said that?
She gonna get it herself.
Yeah.
Man, I agree with you, Bill. That's a messed up feeling. I know we talking. I love our convo, but I've witnessed it, and I pride myself on being brutally honest. That's the reason why I get a lot of interviews. Like this Pikahsso. I did an interview one time. The interviewer called me, Pikahsso, you sure you want to print this? My nigga, you kind of went in.
Yeah.
Nigga, that's my truth.
Yeah.
I always walk in my
Print
truth.
it.
Yes.
I walk in my
I'm
truth.
tell y'all right now, I'm jumping off the ledge. First chance I get.
You jumping off the ship.
I'm jumping off.
What'd you say when I got it? We got us a new one. Remember you said that about me?
I've let too much time go by. I'm jumping off because, hey, I just came back from my 40-year class reunion, and, man, we had an awesome
Let's
time.
talk about that. What school?
Parkview High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. Class of 83, the best class to come through that joint. I don't care what you say.
Okay.
But it was funny, man, because all my classmates, we was talking about, yeah, man, good to see you. Yeah, my knee and my back, my hip. Yeah, when I bend over, I take this medicine. That's why I say with first chance I get, I'm jumping off the ledge.
Absolutely.
And whatever, I don't care how much it pay, because I'm going to be paying myself. I'm jumping off the ledge.
Absolutely. Hey, like Dr. Fahmy said, we had a doctor came in first. She said, as older people, we have to watch what we putting in our body. I don't want to misquote her. She said we had to watch what we putting inside of our body. She's our first guest. Dr. What's her first name? Salima Fahmy. I love how she said it so eloquently put. Go look at the YouTube channel. She said we have to watch what we put, especially since we gotten older. Our bodies are like a car. Our car has to be tuned up. Like me, I stopped eating all that meat. You got to watch what you putting inside your brain. No matter how crazy people think I am, I'm very cognizant of what I'm putting inside my medulla oblongata. That's mental poisoning. We put mental poisoning, you know what I'm saying? We got to be careful we eating all that candy, sleep, as rest. To do all this stuff, it's like Billy Bowles is 58. Look how Billy look damn good for a 58-year-old man. Right. It's good. I'm not afraid to say that. We don't say no homo. You look good for a 50-year-old man. You have to watch so we can have that long journey, because we can't fight the war if we sick. Like you said, man, I went to see some guys I went to school with. Like, damn, I thought we graduated together. Nigga, like he about 80.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at him like, dude.
That's a real deal.
I mean, I'm not making fun of man. Hey, man, you want to put my album out? My nigga, it's over. Sometimes it's just over, my nigga. You ain't finna rap. Not like that. Because you can't smoke You can't drink. You can't eat candy bars and eating Taco Bell and drinking liquor and lean. Lean is what's killing us in the rap community. I don't care what nobody say. You can't lean yourself
Even
and
in
then.
high school, I didn't drink.
I don't smoke.
I still don't.
Let's say that I
I've
don't
never
smoke
done
or drink.
Yeah,
I never done that shit, man.
Which
People
was
think I'm
weird.
high. I've never done it.
It was weird
Never.
for our rap crew. The only person that smoked in
Swiss,
our rap
probably.
crew was Swiss
And Mike. I mean,
and,
Brian. I think Brian.
And then Anwar used to get down.
And
but
James sometimes.
For the most part, like I've never smoked.
got into that.
I've never been high. I've never been drunk. Because I didn't need to. I'm throwed off. I'm on the spectrum. Anyway, you feel me? I do not need
He's on the
nothing
spectrum.
extra. I don't
Me
need nothing
neither.
extra. But real quick, I want to ask you a question. And this is music industry oriented. And I don't know if it has changed since Drake dropped his album.
He said
but
Drake.
so far in the year 2023, there hasn't been a rap record album that charted number one. You know what I'm saying? In the first time
Oh wow.
since it might be the 90s.
That was
Damn.
him and the 21 Savage, wasn't it?
21.
Didn't they chart at number one?
This
That
year-
album they did together?
I don't know. I know Drake had some barrettes.
I don't look at that stuff like I used to. I used to study that
Right,
stuff.
right.
Basically, I think he's trying to say, why do you think it's no number
Yeah.
one hit in the past year or two, whatever he just said.